This is the plaintiff, Nancy Gia. She says the crooked defendant took terrible advantage of her because she paid him up front to do some electrical work and he never showed up to do the work. She's tired of the games he's playing with her, tired of his lame excuses, and is suing the snake in the grass electrician here and now for the return of her $2,347.65. This is the defendant, Bill Criscolo. He says he agreed to do some work on the plaintiff's rental property and gave her a contract for the work. Turns out her house is in a flood zone, which requires the meters to be placed on an 8-foot pole. When he informed the plaintiff it would cost more, she flipped out, and here they are. He's accused of cutting the juice.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff paid the defendant for electrical work, but the defendant was a no-show. The defendant says she flipped out over the price. It's the case of Go Fly a Kite.
Okay, Ms. Gia, you are suing Mr. Criscolo's company, CRC Electric and CRC Generator Systems Plus, for a deposit that you gave him of $2,347.65 that you want returned to you. Tell me what happened.
Yes, on August 16, 2014, I signed a contract with a plaintiff.
You're the plaintiff, he's the defendant. You signed a contract with him to do some electrical work. What was the nature of the electrical work?
I purchased a two-family house. I want to separate a meter.
Right,
Then,
so that each family would have their own meter?
Right.
Instead of it being all one meter? Okay.
Then I search online from homeadvisory.com.
Home advisory?
Yeah,
okay.
.com.
So you called him, you had him come over, and he gave you a quote, correct? Do you have that in front of you?
Yes, I have the contract. This is the contract.
Okay. So you have this contract, and then what happens?
Then I pay the down payment. As soon as I sign the contract, they charge on my credit card that day. Then he never heard anything back from him for about a week or 10 days.
So you contact him, and what does he tell you?
He said he needed some paperwork from the townhouse. It may be in the flood zone. Then
And what did your house turn out to be in a flood zone?
it is. But
So was
I
the
don't
town
know what
happened? The town was requiring extra stuff?
She's in a flood zone, meaning that wherever the meter was going to go in, the water was going to be too high. So CLMP,
What's CLMP?
Connecticut Light and Power, the utility company.
Okay.
They said that the new meter system that was going in would have to be installed 8 to 10 feet off the ground.
Which is not what you had originally priced.
No.
So he tells you it's going to cost more. And what do you say?
I said, what's going on? Are you going to do the work or not? He said, no, you need to pay $1,600 more.
Okay.
I said, okay, if that's the case, I pay you $1,600 more. I testing him if you can finish it in a week. Because this has been a month over, like a couple months, 2-3 months already.
Okay. So you present her with a second deal, which says, look, if I got to put this stuff up, it's going to cost you $1,600 more?
I said yes.
And did she sign that?
She didn't sign. She said she agrees to the dollar amount. I said it's going to cost you around $1,600, $1,800
Do you have that in writing
more.
anywhere?
Yes, I have it.
Let
I
me
also
see
have
it.
a text message, and I have it.
Yeah, let me see the text message where she says yes, so long as you fit. Is it the way she said? Is there a dispute about that? That she said a week?
No, she said if I can finish it in a week, and I said I can have it done in 3 days.
Okay.
But while this was going on, and I scheduled to do the job, Mrs. Jai was already in the process of disputing her down payment with American Express.
Really?
Yes.
How do you know?
I got a letter on the 15th, I think, of the month, and we have the letter.
Okay, I need to see when she sent you the text and when you got the letter from American Express so I can see how much time passed between those two. Okay. Were you telling him to come to the job and you were contesting the American Express charge?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, I have the text message he replied, and he admitted what time and what time he's going to finish in a week.
Okay, let me see that.
I agreed the increase.
Yeah.
And then he just never in the between the first time until the second increase the price.
Okay, but hold on. I see that you text him on December 9th. I'm responding to your emails. I guess where's the email that she sent?
I got, yeah.
Yeah, fork it over.
Actually, I got the whole thing.
Well, you're giving me paper, though, and I don't know if some of it is... I'd like to see it in the phone so that I can...
turn on my phone.
Yeah. I'll keep both of them to make sure they have the same stuff on it and nothing's been erased, but...
all the email, all the text message email.
Now, the first contract is from when? August?
August of 2014.
Jeez.
That's the first
And then
time.
it's 4 months before the issue comes up about added cost. He tells you November 5th, I applied for the permit. Meet me at your house Monday morning. We can go over everything. So you know what to say to your tenant. Now the meters have to have main breakers in them, and this is what we were trying to avoid. The cost is an additional $1,600 just for the meters. If you want to proceed further, I will order them now.
Yes.
I am seeing the text that you sent to him, and it's dated December 3rd. I'll pay the $1,600. Are you able to do it in a week? And you answer yes. And then what happens? You get a letter in the mail?
Yes.
December 11th. So between December 3rd and December 11th, a week has already passed.
A week
Why
has
didn't
passed.
the work happen between December 3rd and December 11th?
My mother was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, she went in for emergency surgery, and I explained that to Mrs. Jai, and she totally understood. So it pushed that out for a week.
During that time is when you get the letter saying she's trying to get her money back.
Yes.
And were you actually planning to be at her house? Like, did you actually have a date?
I gave her a date to do it on the 22nd or the 23rd of December of the 14th.
That's not a week later.
Because she called me up and she wanted her money back to get another contractor to do it. And when I agreed for her to do that, here, I'll give you the material. Have
And
someone
what were
else
you going to do?
it.
You were going to give her the material
Give
and
her the
what else?
material. That's it. And she was going to have
And you
another
were gonna
contract.
keep what?
I was going to keep the money for the material and my time to go to the town hall.
Right, which was how much?
What was the down payment?
The down payment you wanted to keep, and then she could just
She
go
could
find
take the
somebody
material,
else.
and she agreed to that. And then she says, "No,
Where
just
did
come
she
and do
agree to
it."
that?
Verbally on the phone that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Watch this. Did you agree to that?
Never.
Yeah, that didn't go
never.
so well.
And
Now
also
you got
the
all
way
this
they
stuff on
told
text.
me, the way they told me, they said if you don't want to do work, we just dump the material in your yard. That's it.
So how long do you have to wait after the deadline before you can call it quits with a contract?
Well, I'd want to look at the contract, obviously, and if there,
Suppose you don't have a figure in there.
I'd give him a couple weeks, and then if he's not responding, if he's not responding, time is of the essence.
We're going to talk about that in a minute, going inside the courtroom.
So what we have here is this. We have one contract, not two.
Right.
Because the second contract doesn't get signed, and you're trying to get your money back at that point because you're disgusted, right? Then there was a third contract, which was we'll call the angry contract. Didn't you send her an angry contract?
I only sent her 2 contracts. The original one that she
Did
signed.
you say that he sent you a third one?
Yeah, the other one.
Show me the one that adds another 14.
And the attached for the original
That's
one,
what
only
she said she
original
did
2
that.
pages. The next 2 pages should be the contract. And they set up the installing day don't even exist. They told me February 30th or 31st. The day don't even on the calendar.
We'll do it between February 26th and February 30th. I bet you will.
There's only 29 days, right?
No,
28,
just once every
28.
4 years. All righty. So she didn't agree to the revised contract, no matter how many times it was sent.
Right.
Here's what
Yes.
we've got. Every contractor puts the following language into their contracts. Note, any additional changes to the above scope of work or equipment by dwelling owner, you, or by the town official,
I never
a
signed.
change order has a meaning, and a change order means that he's reserving the right to charge you more if it turns out that work can't be completed because the town won't let you. They're making you do it differently. And it's not your fault. I agree with you. You shouldn't have to give back all the money. However, I have to make sure that the amount you're allowed to keep if she breaches is an appropriate amount.
But he said doing the work in 3 weeks. He caused me a lot of damage, but he never did the work.
But you're deducing from that means that you get your whole deposit back. And that's not the answer. It's not his fault. The guy spent, do you know how much time the guy spent in the town trying to get your plans approved, supervising this, speaking to people, speaking to the electorate? You think that means that if the town turns around and says, lady, you're in a flood zone. How do you not know that when you buy the house? You think that means that all his work was for free? No. To be honest with you, you kind of should know if you're in a flood zone when you buy a house.
But
Buy a
he's
place.
he's
Don't
the
talk
electrician.
anymore. I am trying to do some math, and the math is really sloping this way the more I get interrupted in doing it. I'm going to order you to return a portion of the deposit. I find that you're entitled to keep $2,000 for the time that you put into this and the permitting process, the meetings with the town, and for your lost profits for her not proceeding. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So the defendant gets to keep $2,000 of this money, and what's your reaction to the outcome
I
here?
think this is a misjudgment. It's not right.
He did some work. He bought some equipment.
He did supposed to finish the work in 3 weeks. He never done. And now it's a whole year. He never did the work. He kept 2,000. I cooperated on everything. Now I lost 2,000 for somebody acting like a mom. This is a misjudgment.
Not a happy customer of yours
I'm
there.
not a customer. And normally, I make all my customers happy.
Well, what happened here?
Very hard to deal with, and my time is of value, like the judge said. I did a lot of litigation work for her at the town hall. She just wasn't easy to please with scheduling, and I was a little too wise.
Harvey?
Okay, this gentleman just said time is of the essence. Those happen to be magic words. Put those words in the contract if time matters. It will do wonders.